Hello, YouTube pipers. Double O Pipe here. I just felt like I had the urge to light a pipe, share it with somebody that wants to share it, and say howdy. You can probably hear you may not be able to, but they're about 3 houses down building on that house on stilts. Well, I hope everybody's been okay, fine. My tea got cold while I was waiting to fire this thing up. So I put it in the microwave. Now it's too dang hot. Well, Christmas is coming up. And I've been told that my grandson is at that age where he wants money instead of presents, so I have to send money. My granddaughter's still making a list, so I got the one thing she listed so far. I sent it. And I have a list on Amazon that must be a mile and a half long. And my daughter usually picks something from that because they never knew what to get me. My son never knows what to get me, and he never looks at the list and never gets what I put on that. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I got in the mail my daughter's Christmas gift for me. It's a crossover marine band Hohner harmonica in got a bamboo bass here. It's a diatonic 10-hole harmonica. I have one I've been attempting to learn how to play. Even though that's a tiny little thing, to master it, I would think you would have to, after trying to play it a bit, I think you'd have to study for years to master this, even though it's that big, palm of your hand. And that's a very nice harmonica. It's one of Hohner's bests. I think it's the newest model they've put out. And she sent that to me. She was upset because it got here so early, but I'm happy with it. So does anybody play harmonica? If you do, tell me what I can do to learn. Because I'm beginning to think I might just have a tin ear, because I don't know. One of those things. Somebody mentioned that they had a girlfriend who liked fountain pens. And he said she likes Sailor fountain pens. Now, the Sailor fountain pen you can find online. but that's one of the more expensive fountain pens. Me, being the cheapo that I am, I found a brand called Jin Hao that makes what they call an homage to the Sailor fountain pen. Same size. Of course, the filling apparatus is different, but still, if you really want to know if you want to spend that much on a Sailor fountain pen, because like I say, they're very expensive, you could buy a really nice watch for the amount. This is another Jin Hao, which is an homage to Sailor fountain pens. Same thing. The filling mechanism is not what you have in that. This is the filling mechanism. But it gives you the feel for that thing. And these boogers are fat. And I couldn't write with it for very long because it was just too fat. Of course, my fat little fingers might have a problem with that, and that might be just me. Now, the one fountain pen that I really liked, was a Lamy 2000. I was going to fill it up and show you how it wrote, but come to find out, I couldn't fill it up because I think there's something wrong with the plunger. So I've got to figure out how, excuse me, how to get in there to look at the plunger. But it's a very, very nice pen, and it writes wonderfully. This is not cheap either, but this is top of the line Lamy, which is made in Germany, pen. And it's a wonderful writing instrument if you like writing with a fountain pen. Holds a nice bit of ink. I don't know if you can see it. That's what's called the ink window right there. Obviously, there's no ink in it because it's just air, you can see. If there were ink, it would be the same color as that, so that it would just mask that window. But when this is full and you're writing a letter or whatever, one that's going to take some time, this is what I recommend. The Lamy 2000. Wonderful writing instrument. Beautiful nib on it. It's just perfecto. I got into this fountain pen thing a while back before the watch thing. And I was looking at things and spending more and more on each one that I chose until I got to the artisan pens. Now, the artisan pens are the ones made by artists in the pen manufacturing realm, because there's a realm of pen shows like the pipe shows. They have pen shows all over the country. One of the biggest is in Chicago. I always wanted to go to one. The closest one to here would be in North Carolina in the Trident area, but I was never able to make it. But anyway, I found one that I wanted, And I got in touch with the guy and I said, I would like to have this pen. And he said, okay. And he told me the price. And I felt like I had committed myself when I told the man I wanted this pen. So I said, okay. And he said, send me the money and I'll send you the pen. And I said, okay. Oh, me. So I waited until my check came in for the month. And set aside the amount for that pen, send him the money, and receive the pen. It was a nice pen, and it wrote really nice, but I kept looking at it saying, oh my word, I can't believe I spent that much on this pen. And I looked around for it, but I can't find it. I don't know what I've done with it. It's probably put away somewhere safe. So that I'll know where it is. And it's one of those deals, it's so safe that I'll never find it for a while. Oh, me. But that was when I stopped collecting pens. This is what happens when you use fountain pens. I used to have these fingers all the time. This was when I was trying to fill up that Lamy 2000, and the plunger just wasn't pulling any ink up, and I couldn't figure it, so I had to take it apart and fiddle with it all, and you get ink on your fingers when you do that. I mean, it was really heavily on there. It's a good thing these aren't permanent inks because it would be on there even longer, even darker. But, you know, that's the mark of somebody that uses a fountain pen. So it's kind of a badge of honor to a fountain pen user. I did collect a lot of fountain pens that were made in China because for me, I couldn't afford the sailors and I didn't know if I would even like them if I did get one. So that's why I got those homages, which just means they made one to look like it so they could sell it for about 1/10 the price. A knockoff is what we would call it, but to make it a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? A better buy, they call it an homage. Some people say homage, but I think it's supposed to be homage. So anyway, I got those to see if I really wanted to save up for a sailor. I decided, no, I don't want a sailor. They're good pens, but I just can't. Once I bought that artisan pen, I just couldn't see buying another pen because that hurt. Being a cheapo, that hurt. But anyway, to my friend out there who said he was seeing a woman who liked fountain pens and wanted him to look into a sailor, more power to you, my friend. You can buy a really nice watch for the price of a sailor fountain pen. And I think I would prefer to have a watch than a fountain pen. I tell you, of all the fountain pens that I got, a Pilot V pen cost maybe $1. Fountain pen, you can get them medium point. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's a medium. Fine and broad. And these are very nice writing pens for pen and ink, fountain pen writing. This is another one. It's very small, but once you put it together, it makes a nice size. Nice little pen. You can get it on the gray market cheaper than you can from an authorized dealer. I usually looked on the gray market for mine. I thought there was something else over here. This is a Pilot pen. It's one of the least expensive of the Pilot pens. It's a nice writing. Beginner's fountain. For people who are just beginning to write with fountain pens, that's a nice little pen to get. Very inexpensive. Very nice. This is another inexpensive pen. It's called a Platinum. I don't know if you can see that. That's a medium point, I believe. And this one, you can fill the entire barrel up with ink so that it'll last a very long time. There were two places I used to buy pens. One was Goulet Pen Company. They're based in either Virginia or West Virginia. I'm not sure which. Very nice folks. Very small company. Like a family. Almost. They're not family, but the group of people that work together form almost a family unit because they're all very congenial with one another. Made a lot of YouTube posts about their pens and their company. Nice folks. And their help for people who are interested in pens, they're always willing to give you advice. And the other was Anderson Pens. And that's a company that's based in Chicago. They're very nice folks, too. Mr. Anderson, who owns the place, refurbishes or takes old vintage pens and makes them usable again. Puts in what they call bladders. That's what holds the ink. And does a very good job. Some of them still have that metal bit on the side that you pull out to press the bladder in, press the air out, and drop it back, and the ink sucks up from where you've pushed all the air out. I don't know how else to explain that. And I did not mean to get onto this subject that deeply. Like I told you, I went down that rabbit hole. And when I talk about them now, I get right back into that rabbit hole. Doesn't mean I want to buy anymore. But I just get the interest in them comes right flooding right back. And like I say, that rabbit hole, you can jump whoop, and straight down, just like with the pipes. You can get into that rabbit hole with tobacco and all the things. I forgot to mention, this is my Vauen, V-A-U-E-N 8044, I believe it was. A German-made pipe that seems to smoke about as good as my Bing's favorite, except it's not. I prefer it to be a little further away from my nose. So I still miss my Bing's favorite, but this smokes very well. And I have a filter in it, made by Vaughn, I think. Maybe not. I think the Vaughn was a 9mm and this is a 6mm, or this is a, or vice versa. I'm not sure which. And I bought that tub of Carter Hall, and that's what I'm smoking every day. And I'm just enjoying it more and more. Good tobacco. Good tobacco. If anybody can help me with this harmonica, I would appreciate it. Or set me on the somewhere to go to learn how to play that thing. But I would love to be able to play the blues on that, because I love harmonica and those folks that play the blues. Jimmy Reed especially. But his is a totally different key. His is an A key harmonica, and this is a C key. And he plays the high end where most of them play the low end. Okay, enough. I'm gonna quit this now. Well, it's been fun for me. I don't know if it's been fun for you, but thanks for joining me. Thanks for having a pipe with me. And a beverage, whether it be tea, a pale ale, or a jigger of scotch, whatever. You guys take care of yourself. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening to me. I enjoy this on occasion, as you can tell. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. Till the next time. Bye-bye.